What's up, guys? Coding is back, and today I'm gonna be talking about we're gonna be building a project. It is gonna be a light and dark theme toggle. I have the window of the completed project on CodePen right here, and so I'm just gonna minimize it. I'm gonna try minimize the code. Okay, forget that, and yeah, make the screen bigger. And so if I click it here, it changes this to the dark mode, and we get the background of this dark blue. When I change it, it becomes sort of the light mode, and it gets sort of this white or gray, light grayish color. And yeah, we're going to be using a little bit of JavaScript, as you see here, a little bit of CSS, and very little HTML. We're going to build this in Visual Studio Code, even if the completed project is on CodePen. So I'm just going to drag this up to my other monitor and then keep it there. I'm just going to close that for now. And yeah, so let's get started. And before that, if you like the content of my channel and want to see future content where I give you web tools for web development, and I also plan on starting some design videos, say how you want to probably design your future websites. And for intermediate to advanced web developers, I might start giving you React, Vue, or Node.js tutorials, because this isn't only focused for the beginners, but yeah, that's the way I'm planning to progress right now. And yeah, please hit the if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and check out my other videos too. And without that with that out of the way, let's get started. So obviously I'm gonna get index.html, wrong area, and I'm just gonna get a main.js. Then same, Emmett Ray, I have an entire video on that. It generates the boilerplate markup for anybody. So just gonna get light, dark, theme toggle, and wait, forgot something. I'm gonna have to link the style. I have to link the style sheet with the href of the style file. So this is the way we do that, as you probably know already. Then script with the source of the main.js file that we created. So I'm just going to save that. And we also need font awesome. I'm going to minimize this, grab font awesome. If you didn't know, they recently released font awesome 6. But I'm just going to be using regular font awesome with my regular toolkit. And I'm just going to go start for free, my kit, and see now brewing font awesome 6. I'm not gonna learn one. I'm just gonna copy my kit script tag, go here, and I'm just gonna go script tag, meaning in the body. Okay, go paste it up there. And so now we can just start with a regular markup. So I'm gonna go with a div and an input with a type of checkbox, because see what we're doing with the toggle, say switch, like the kind of the kind of switch you might find in iPhones or iPads. We're essentially toggling the marked option in the checkbox to convert the light theme to the dark theme and vice versa. So for that, what you're gonna get a type of checkbox and get a class of checkbox. And if you want, you could put ID of checkbox to select in your JavaScript, but I could just use the query selector, which I want to introduce to you as well. So I'm just going to be using that. And the label. The for attribute for the label corresponds to an ID. Oops, forgot about that. So we definitely require an ID here of checkbox. And suppose we click on the label, it can toggle the checkbox element, because this label is going to encapsulate the icons and it can, yeah, because of the ID on the input, it can toggle the checkbox. So this is what we're going to be using. And to style it, we're going to give it a class of label. And then I'm just going to go and copy up the font awesome, code, and it's should be indented properly. And yep, this is just the one for the moon, and then this is the one for the sun. And then we're just gonna make a div with a class of ball, because we want to create that in this finished project. We want to create this sort of a, you see the white color ball which moves across smoothly to create this transition or animation, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so that's the one which has the div with a class of ball. So that's all the markup we'll need right now. And so for the CSS, we're just going to start with our, we don't actually have to do the normal border box and all of that. We could just do it in the body right now, because that also works in this project. And with the body, I'm just going to add display flex to it to center the entire button in the middle of the page. You don't have to do it, it's optional, but I'm just going to go ahead with that. So I'm going to go for display flex and justify content. I ought to make a video on a flex box soon, so just bear with me. So this is going to get it to the horizontal center, and then I'm just going to go for min height of 100 viewport height. So for those of you who don't know, please check out my video on CSS CSS units. So yeah, this is the project right now. This is the state of the project right now, because we haven't really applied much style to it yet, and we'll get to that. Style CSS, we linked it, perfect, and my styles should behave properly. Okay, so until then, I'm just gonna, oops, I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm gonna take this and stretch it out here. I'm having trouble because that's so weird. I'm just gonna get this a little smaller, and I'm gonna get this a little wider so that we can work with it properly. And so the body should work. Okay, meanwhile, I'm just gonna go with margin 0, and then with a normal, box sizing, a border box, and the padding of 0. Okay, so this works. This is the HTML, and we could go for the label styling with the width of 50 pixels, because the switch has to be 50 pixels, and the height can be 26 pixels, not 20 pixels. And these are just values that I experimented with, so don't worry. Line out of center, and then justify content, center. Oh no, it's space between, because we want to space out the icons as far as possible between the buttons, so with the padding included, and so that's what does it for us. We're just going to go for display flex. I'm going to get a background color of 111, which is a pretty dark color. Save that. Why isn't anything getting styled? Style sheet. Oh, I spelled this wrong. My bad. So, yeah, here you go. Now it works as it's supposed to. Oops, not the 3D viewer. Virtual reality stuff. And then we might want to add a border radius to round this up. Not actually round the edges, I mean. So 50 pixels will probably round it enough for us. Yep, that's perfect. And a padding, next line, I want a padding of 5 pixels Yeah, make it a little bigger. That's perfect. And we might want to give this a position of relative, because as you see, we're going to give the child element a position of absolute to position it properly within that label here. So position relative, and then we might just want to make this a little bigger. So I'm just going to transform, scale it to 1.5. I have an entire video dedicated to CSS transform. So in case you don't understand that, please check this out. It's going to be in the cards, which should be popping up right now. And yeah. And next, let's just style the ball. It's going to be white. It's going to be a little bigger. That's all there is. So position absolute, like I said, ball is the child element, as you can see in this HTML. So this is the parent element, this label, and then the child element is this ball. So we're going to have a position absolute, and the width is 22 pixels. I'm going to explain CSS position in detail in another video, because probably it's not that clear to you. And I'm just going to give you the what we're doing here. So position relative confines the child elements within it, and in this case, and then in the ball, when you add the position relative, due to the confinement, you put the values of top and left and all that, say from the perspective of the label. So suppose the ball is literally here at this corner, you could say top 0 and then right 0, because it's within this switch thingy. Otherwise it will be down, otherwise it will be at this corner here, which we don't want. So that's why we added position relative. I'll explain this in detail in another video. So until then, so we want a height of 22 pixels as well, and we might want to add a background color of, say, something close to white. F4, F4, F4. That's a pretty nice gray. And yeah, this is a square. Surprise, surprise. And then we need to add a border radius to curve the edges. The corners per radius, or 50% or 50 pixels. Either way works. And I'll leave the transitions for the last. And we'll just style the moon. And for the moon, it's just going to be a color, which I'm going to copy and paste it. So the color of the moon is supposed to be this bright yellow color, which is F1C4OF. So that's what I chose. And for the sun, I'm just gonna copy that. I'm just gonna paste it. And yeah, this is the sort of an orange color. You can choose whatever colors you want. It won't affect the output, except of course the color of the icon. You suppose you can change this to dark light blue. And yeah, that would be perfect also. See, now the sun, and then if we could just get the ball to move a little bit. Transform, translate, X, 50 pixels. And yeah, you see the moon is light blue. I actually like that better. So I'm just going to leave it that light blue. And yeah, I'm just going to remove this line of code. This was just for demonstration to show the color of the moon. And after that, we want to style the checkbox. So with the check box, and we're going to give it a position of absolute. For now, you'll see why we're doing that later. And so we need to add there's a special pseudo element for the checkbox, which is at checked. So that will, no, it's not a pseudo element, I'm sorry, it's a pseudo class, you could say. I have to make a video on that. And I'm selecting the label and the ball. And this plus that you see here, it's a JSON operator, but we can use it for CSS as well. And we're just going to go for transform, translate of X of 30 pixels. Where's my X? Here's my X of 30 pixels. So what we're going to do is, oh yeah. So what this will do is whenever we click this, It moves 30 pixels, but it's very abrupt, and we would like to give it a transition to this ball. So for the transition, we could just do transition. Instead of all, we could do the transform property, transform, and then 0.2 seconds, and linear to make sure that it doesn't slow down or speed up anyway. So yeah, this is perfect. And now we are going to be talking about the dark theme and the light theme. And for that, we are going to be, toggling the class list. So we have a little bit more CSS to do, but before that, I'm just going to go into the JavaScript, and I'm just going to select the checkbox. Const checkbox equals document dot get element by ID, and it's going to be checkbox because you gave it an ID. You could use a query selector and do dot checkbox. I'm not too hung up about it. Yeah, basically you could use it either way. I'm just going to get rid of this Explorer tab to give us a little bit of room here. And I just got to add an event listener to the checkbox. Checkbox add event listener of change. So whenever we toggle the marked and unmarked property, we want to give an arrow function. I have an entire video on arrow function in case you want to look at that. I'm just going to add a comment, change theme. So we're going to do documents dot body because we're selecting the entire body, and we want to access the class list, and then we want to toggle it to dark because right now it's light, and obviously we didn't add any definition of what the dark class should do. So I'm just going to add that right up, and so it's body.dark, I guess. Yeah, body.dark. You want to change the background color, body.dark. You want to change the background color, and I found this really nice background color, which seems to be a really dark blue, and yeah, it seems pretty good. So it's really abrupt. You might want to add a transition to this also. So I'm just going to go here, transition, background color, and 0.2 seconds, and linear as well. Save that. So you see now it toggles with a certain speed, and sort of it brings a smoothness along with it instead of going like blam your dark, blam your light. Sorry about that, but yeah, instead of going like that, it goes with a smooth, orderly manner, I guess you could say, and this is the way it works. So it's a little fun to play with it, but after some time you eventually get bored of it, and this is a really simple project for you guys, and I have tons more projects to give you guys, say rock paper scissors in game development, or maybe design videos to design websites, and probably I don't know, opening modals, like you click a button and then boom, you get sort of a pop-up. And yeah, there are many others that we might want to do in the future, but for now this is the project I'm giving you. So yeah, you can make all sorts of, let's see, projects with it. I mean, you can add it to your own custom project. This definitely isn't a standalone project on its own, because people would, I don't know what they do to you. If they just see that project as your homework assignment, or suppose you're applying for a job, they see that, they're gonna go faint. So yeah, suppose you could add this as a small functionality to any one of your websites. Like, see that simple weight converter that we made? You could use a you could use the light dark theme toggle on it, suppose in the corner, and yeah, that works pretty well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something out of it. And please be sure to hit the like button if you liked it, and put down in the comments about what I could improve, and say any other solutions to this. Obviously there are many other ways you could do this. This is just one of the ways, and yeah, you might see similar code out on the net, but that's because this is one of the most easy, this is one of the easiest ways that you could perform this task. And yes, thank you guys, and I'll see you soon. And please subscribe to my not subscribe, please follow my GitHub account to have access to all of the repositories, GitHub repositories. Also check out my CodePen. I have a few projects there, and you might be able to learn something out of it. I'll be putting videos on them too, but for now, yep, that's it. I'm gonna keep the follow me in the description so you can check out my Insta account and my CodePen as well as my GitHub account, and that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. And yeah, put down in my comments. I changed my logo and my channel art, and I'm yet to change my intro, so put that down in the comments as well. And so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.